Welcome to C.Tube, where ancient Chinese strategy meets modern life. Through timeless tales of power, wisdom, and intrigue, we decode the art of decision-making, self-awareness, and navigating the complexities of career and life. Let history be your greatest teacher. In today's story, we journey back to the Western Han Dynasty, where a mask of integrity concealed ruthless ambition, and an accusation against the heir ignited one of the darkest tragedies of the empire. More than just a tale of false justice and political intrigue, this is a story about betrayal, fear, and the deadly cost of unchecked suspicion. Let's step into the moment and see what it reveals about us today. Part 1. From Privilege to Power. Zhang Tong, a native of Handan in Zhao during the Western Han Dynasty, first gained favor because of his sister. Gifted in music and dance, she married the crown prince of Zhao, Liu Dan. Through this connection, Zhang was welcomed into the Zhao royal court. But when Liu Dan suspected Zhang of betraying his secrets to the king, Zhang fled Zhao's territory in fear. Physically imposing yet narrow-minded and vindictive, Zhang carried deep resentment toward Liu Dan. Seeking revenge, he reported to Emperor Wu that Liu Dan had committed immoral acts with Zhang's own sister. Known for his stubborn nature, Emperor Wu accepted the accusation and imprisoned Liu Dan. Though a general amnesty later spared the prince's life, his chance of becoming heir was lost forever. When Zhang was summoned to court, Emperor Wu was taken by his stately appearance and elegant demeanor. Believing him to be upright, the emperor appointed him as an embroidered-clad inspector, tasked with overseeing officials and royal relatives. For Zhang, this position was perfect. Cloaked in imperial authority, he began collecting evidence against aristocrats. Sons of noble families who broke the law were sent to fight against the Shunnu. Many sought to escape punishment by bribing Zhang, whose confiscated sums were dutifully delivered to the treasury, amounting to tens of millions. Convinced of his incorruptibility, Emperor Wu praised him as truly impartial and just. Part 2. Confronting the Crown Prince. On one occasion, while accompanying the emperor to the Ganshan Palace, Zhang intercepted a carriage speeding along the palace road. It belonged to Crown Prince Liuju's envoy. Zhang confiscated the vehicle and ignored the prince's attempts to smooth matters over. Reporting directly to the emperor, Zhang was again praised for his strict impartiality. But his defiance of the crown prince was not out of genuine righteousness. Emperor Wu, in his later years, favored a young consort known as Lady Go-yi, or the Fist Lady, because she was born with clenched fists. When he once pried her hand open, a jade hook was found inside, hence her name. She later bore him a son, Liu Fulin, who quickly became the emperor's darling. Many, including Zhang Chong, believed that the crown prince Liuju would eventually be replaced. Zhang began to dream of glory. If the prince were removed and Liu Fulin ascended, Zhang would be hailed as a key architect of the new reign. Yet Emperor Wu never acted, and as his health declined, Zhang's fears deepened. He knew he had made many enemies at court. Should Liuju become emperor, his life would be in peril. Haunted by nightmares of his downfall, Zhang devised a sinister plan. Part 3. The Witchcraft Scandal and the Prince's Tragedy. One day, Zhang visited the ailing emperor, who complained of strange weakness and disorientation. Zhang whispered the word, witchcraft. Emperor Wu, prone to suspicion, immediately believed him. Granting Zhang full authority to investigate, he ordered a search for evidence. Zhang's men dug beneath palace floors and discovered wooden figurines buried in the crown prince residence, planted there to frame him. Tortured servants confessed to fabricated charges, and the prince was accused of sorcery. Zhang dragged thousands into the affair. With no way to clear his name, Liuju rallied his supporters, captured Zhang, and executed him. But the damage was done. To Emperor Wu, the act looked like rebellion. Convinced of his son's guilt, he ordered troops to surround the prince, who was killed in the chaos. Only later, persuaded by Minister Tenchen-Chou, did Emperor Wu realize that he had been deceived by a treacherous schemer. By then, it was too late. The crown prince was dead, and irreparable harm had been done. In bitter acknowledgement, Emperor Eld ordered Jiang Tong's entire clan executed, and his accomplices put to death. Now, let's break it down into the key takeaways you won't want to forget. Jiang Tong was a despicable man who cloaked himself in the appearance of integrity. His so-called uprightness was not meant to inspire others. It was a weapon, a sharpened blade used to destroy lives. Those he targeted fell into two groups: people who had once offended him and those who stood in the way of his ambitions. To the first group belonged a crown prince from a feudal state who had slighted him. To the second belonged the heir of the empire itself. The imperial heir had never wronged him, yet Zhao deliberately sought conflict. Out of fear that the heir might one day punish him, he fabricated charges and pursued him relentlessly. Such a man was driven by vengeance, ruthless ambition, and unscrupulous methods. For him, no scheme was too cruel if it meant eliminating an obstacle. What is striking is that the mighty emperor himself failed to see through this facade. He truly believed Zhao to be a loyal and honest minister. Perhaps age clouded the emperor's judgment, or perhaps Zhao's performance was so convincing that he deceived the throne for years, until his plots culminated in one of the most disastrous tragedies in the dynasty's history. In the end, Zhao's counterfeit righteousness became a poisoned sword, and worse still, he wielded it through the emperor's own authority. For a time, he almost succeeded. But arrogance blinded him to one eternal truth: the one who kills will eventually be killed. His schemes enraged the crown prince, who struck him down and shattered his ambitions. Later, when the emperor at last recognized the truth, Zhao's entire clan was exterminated. Yet the price was unbearable. The heir of the empire was lost, and tens of thousands of lives, including nobles and officials, perished in the turmoil. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into history and insight, don't forget to subscribe for more stories that reveal the wisdom behind the ages.